Yeah. Oh shit. Hold on a second. Wait. Not done. Shalom, appreciate y'all joining me today. Yeah, I know every year I think I'm gonna have the word Christian and don't know the Bible is gonna be in every pretty much in every Car Chronicles title for the whole year. For the whole year, because remember, I'm going to stomp out Christians all year. I don't care how mad you get. I don't care what you like, dislike. I'm going to stomp you Christians out. I'm just sharing. Give me 1 second. Live now. Like, share, and subscribe. Let me highlight this. Select all. Copy, paste. I just got 2 more places to share, and then I'll be right with y'all. Where's my thing? Boom. All right, now let me go to Facebook. 1 more place, y'all. I'm coming. All right. Let's hit next. Jesus. I love hitting up them Christian singles. Hey, y'all know that lady never hit me up. Y'all know that lady that was interested in she was talking about she never hit me up to put in the resume. Yo, Cat, why breakup group want to talk about Christians now? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Shout out to Michael Love, Barn Dog, Bayana. Appreciate y'all joining me today. Let me know if y'all can hear me all right. If y'all hear me pretty good, give me a mic check. 1 2 1 2. Hold on, let me see. Let me come over here. Hold on. I'm just doing 1 more. All right, got the 1 2 1 2s. How y'all out there in California? See, by now, how y'all doing out there in California with all them fires? I hope y'all I hope y'all safe out there. All right, so let's see what we're talking. Oh, let me pin the phone number. Let me put the phone number in the chat. My bad. My apologies. Let me put the phone number in the chat. Let me put my phone number in the chat. So let me put the pay it. Oh shit, hold on. Bear with me a second, y'all. I put the wrong link in the chat. Pay your tithes. There you go. Pay your tithes. And the phone number. All right, so I just put the phone number in the chat. So if y'all got a question or comment, you could definitely call in. Did anybody see the video I put up with the white nationalists? So you got the white nationalists. I've been visiting Twitter Space lately. Twitter Space is an interesting space. And when I hold on 1 second. So Twitter Space is an interesting space. Joseph Daniels, all the way from Guyana. Shout out to you. So I was in this Twitter space the other day, and it was like black nationalists versus white nationalists, right? And what made that a good episode, just why? What made that a good episode, hold on, y'all. Do y'all, is it just me? Or do y'all get, like I get random text messages from everybody, and I don't know why. What's that? Oh, do he got another mom? I don't know what that means. Or do he have another mom? I don't know what that is. So on the Twitter Spaces, and the reason why I'm talking about this is because this is what I noticed. If anybody follow me, y'all ever notice when I do the kill stream battle? So it usually be me versus a white supremacist. And the white supremacist always points out how the enemy are like they respect Israel. Okay, so the reason why white supremacists like black Israelites, I'm saying black on purpose. The reason why they like us as Israelites is because we go against the so-called Jew. And so because they look at him as an enemy and then we hate him, their go-to is to say, okay, we got this common enemy, so let's not be enemies, right? So I want to read this scripture. This scripture going to be in the Apocrypha. This is Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. This Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. And I'm going to tell you why I read this. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Meaning you can always bank that the iron is going to get rust. And that's always the wickedness of your enemy. I'm going to keep going. It says, though he humble himself and go crouching. And that's what you're seeing white people do today. Because white people look at Israelites, because the so-called Jew and the white man are both from the from the nation of Esau. They're both Edomites. We look at them as the same. But white people try to make it seem like Jewish people are different because the so-called Jew does separate himself. So because the so-called Jew don't share with white people hate the so-called Jew. So when it says in this verse, though he humble himself and go crouching, when you watch that video, that white man says that we too busy fighting each other and don't realize this dragon that's in the midst of us. And so what this white nationalists want black nationalists to do is, yes, we got our issues, but this dragon is in the middle of us. Let's destroy him because he's the real enemies. Emilion made an excellent point about Russia separating himself. Now, the problem with that is, and I like the response that I gave. Maybe I'll play. Y'all let me know if y'all want me to play it. If y'all want me to play it, I'll play it. Y'all let me know. So I'm going to read this scripture. I'm going to look up. Give me a 1 if you want me to play it. Give me a 2 if you don't, because I'll play what I'm talking about. All right? So then I'm going to keep reading this verse. It says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. I see the ones. It says, set him not by thee, lest when he overthrow thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou art last remember my words, and be pricked therewith. So the whole time, so let me get to the clip. So I'm going to play for y'all what I'm talking about. So let me see if I can get to it. Hold on. Let me see here. I'm going to go to my channel, go to videos. Now what I'm going to try to skip to is the live of what he was saying. So that's what I'm going to try to find first.
Well, you made it easy to conquer, so we're going to conquer.
Let's let Ian go.
Well, conquer.
Let's let Ian go.
Folks, we've all seen the cul-de-sac over the last 40 or 50 years go to...
Now, this is going to be some stuff that you got to listen to, so I need y'all to pay attention to what he's going to say, all right? You got to listen to the words that he's saying. You got to listen to the... Now, remember the scriptures I gave, and just listen to the words that he's saying, all right? It's important. We got 200 people in here, man. Likes is free. And this is some good information, because this information is the mental warfare. Hold on. I'm gonna take Christian out for a second. I'm gonna retitle this live to, let me see, the mental warfare of white nationalists. Wait. I'm gonna retitle this to the mental spiritual warfare of white nationalists trying to trick black people. That's what I'm gonna title this to, right? So let's get the likes up, right? And then phone calls, y'all can call in if y'all want. It doesn't matter. I'll take the phone calls too. So now I want y'all to pay attention, because when you listen to this, you're going to hear him use us as a ploy. So I'm going to play it.
Right? We can look back at the Cosby Show, which was a pretty reasonable reflection of the average nuclear middle-class black family not all that long ago. And I see somebody down there laughing, but let's be real. That was a pretty reasonable presentation of what it was like to be a hardworking, individual with faith, with a good amount of prosperity. Now look at the average black family, if I can even call it that today. And I say that just because it's north of 85% of black children are now born with parents out of wedlock. And I'm not critiquing the black community. I'm saying that you guys have endured an awful amount of subversion and what I would loosely call torment, if not torture, right? So our cul-de-sac is all communally getting worse.
You see how he said, you look like, you have endured this torture. Now, this is a white guy telling us that we've endured this torture. But he's not going to put the torture on white people. He's putting this torture on Jewish people. That's what they was doing in this room. I'm going to keep going.
We can all look at each other and say, well, once upon a time, you had a bigger pool than me, or you had a bigger front porch, or whatever it is. Or we can recognize that everything is on fire. And they're bringing in more people into the cul-de-sac that are going to pour into the home next to you. And what does that mean? It means that the price of the homes that you might want to buy are going to go up. The wages that you're going to receive for the work that you do is going to go down. The schools, the hospitals, the roads, they're all going to get more and more cluttered, and they're going to get more and more destructive. The prosperity that we once knew as a people will go by the wayside. And we know this to be the case because we can look at the fact that it was just Bernie Sanders, a liberal Jew, oh, by the way, who just came out and said the average productivity...
Bernie Sanders, a liberal Jew, by the way, that's letting you know. Watch, keep going.
The American worker is up 400% over the last couple generations. 400%. You are generating far more money for your employers in the economy. And yet people can't afford anything. We can look at the numbers, and if we break it down via inflation, people today are spending more on their homes, their cars, their food than they were at the height of the Great Depression. And so we either sit around and we say, well, you know what, like, I really dislike you because of this thing in the past, and you participate in this, and your great-great-great-grandfather might have looked at mine funny, right? Or we say, hey, all of those things don't matter if there is a dragon in the neighborhood that literally wants to destroy all of your prosperity.
I'm going to bring this back. So he's going to say, we can talk about all this thing from the past and ancestors, or we could think about the dragon. I'm going to play it again. I'm going to bring it back. Play it again. Listen clearly. Listen to what he's saying.
And yet now, people can't afford...
And the reason why you got to listen, because the spiritual and mental aspect is what he's telling us, what he's telling black people, is to forget what happened in the past so you can deal with this enemy in the future. That's what he wants to tell. Deal with this enemy right now. And this mantra that that this white man is giving black people is what white people want black people to do right now. Watch, listen again.
Anything. We can look at the numbers, and if we break it down via inflation, people today are spending more on their homes, their cars, their food than they were at the height of the Great Depression. And so we either sit around and we say, well, you know what, like, I really dislike you because of this thing in the past, and you participate in this, and your great-great-great-grandfather might have looked at mine funny, right? Or we say, hey, all of those things don't matter if there is a dragon in the neighborhood that literally wants to destroy all of your prosperity. It wants to inject you with experimental drugs. It wants you to be slaves to systems, to destroy your religion, your culture, your people.
He said there's a dragon in the community that wants to inject you with drugs. Now, did not Ronald Reagan, Lyndon B. Johnson, did they not since Vietnam inject the black community with drugs? So wasn't it a dragon back then? So why now do we got to concern ourselves with this so-called Jewish dragon when black people have been dealing with dragons since we've been in America? That's the part that ain't. And here's the thing. White people talk so damn cunning that black people will fall for that stupid shit. Black people will absolutely fall for that and be like, yeah, they'll forget all about Ronald Reagan. They'll forget about everything. They'll forget about, go on. They'll do all of this because they'll listen to the white man and be like, yeah, because this white man doing it now. And they want to believe that this new white man is going to get better. That's what amazes me, that black people in 2025 is still looking for white hope, like the great white hope. They're still looking for this white hope, this white love, because he don't want you to bring up what he did. I'm gonna play some more.
Prosperity, your families. It wants to turn your sons into women, your daughters into men. It wants to encourage them to basically go out and just become degenerates with alcoholism, resulting in suicide or whatever these other things are. Like, it's time to look around and to say that everything is getting worse. We want it, of course, to get better. And I, as a white person, wanted to get better for black people. I wanted to get better for Indians and Hispanics and all these other things.
I, as a black person, wants it to get better. As a white person, wants it to get better for black people. Y'all, give me a 1 in the chat if you believe that shit. You believe that? If you believe that a white man wants it to get better for black people, put a 1 in the chat. Now we're gonna see who's listening to. I'm not gonna play nothing. I'm gonna drink this. I want to see who's gonna put this 1 in the chat. Okay, all right. We got 1-1. To the one person that put 1, the phone number's in the chat. You can always call and say why you believe white people want something good for black people. The topic is to tank B. Wilding. The topic is white people trying to trick us, to trick black people into fighting his enemy, which is the so-called Jew. That's the topic. All right, so I'm going to keep playing it.
But it's not going to unless we turn the tide on this machine. So we got to focus all of our efforts to demand that the politicians like Donald Trump, who said he's not even in office yet, and he's already said that Israel is the primary concern for the new administration, and that those that speak out against it on college campuses, that the U.S. government will take funding from those schools. Think about that for a moment. The president of the United States, who's going to make America great again, is going to send your money and your children off to fight a foreign war that will further impoverish their futures, while also telling you that it's now illegal, prospectively, to even criticize or critique that power structure. And if you don't believe me, look at who Donald Trump's Secretary of Homeland Security is going to be.
Ian. My
Let me see
goodness.
if I can get to my response. Hold on.
Came in the turn of the century, another 30.
Give me 1 second. I'm just fast forwarding.
They came in here. What did we gain after that river?
Dixon Nas said, I'm white and I'm sorry on behalf of 70-year-old whites. Dixon Nas, I appreciate the super chat donation, but that $2 you need more than $2 for me to believe you. If you want me to believe you, go to isubk.com and donate a big chunk. Then I might believe you. But I do appreciate the $2 super chat. But, I've seen people pay $2 to say shut the F up. So I don't know if $2 ain't enough for me to believe. But I do appreciate the super chat donation. Thank you very much. All right? Thank you. All right?
Revolutionary War was over. Nothing.
Civil War. Here was my response.
And in some of those states above 50%.
And now, the reason why I give the response, Dixon Nas is crazy. Say, how about 3? That's funny. This is now, the response that I'm going to give is historical. And when you hear the response I give, and this is how you know the white man is not going, well, I'm going to play it first, so I don't jump the gun. I'm going to play it.
So that's another fallacy that I wanted to...
These white nationalists talk, they always try to
kind of crush. So I'll land with that. With that.
Appreciate it. Captain Tazaryach,
Yeah, I appreciate it. Whenever I hear these white nationalists talk, they always try to appeal to a so-called united front against Jewish people. That's really what it comes to. Every time every time I debate them, battle them, okay, they always bring up Jewish people this, Jewish people that. And that's just a sect of white people that just think they're better than another sect of white people. And history has a way of teaching us great lessons. So he came in here and said, we got this dragon in the middle of us, so we got to separate our issues so that we can defeat this dragon. That's the lie that they told us since the Revolutionary War. The Revolutionary War, niggas fought for America, and in that third Star Spangled Banner, the third verse that they take out, talk about how they made fun of us for fighting them. What did we gain after that Revolutionary War was over? Nothing. Civil War, what did we gain? Nothing. It's always the white man coming and hustling us and making us believe that the enemy of my enemy is my friend, not understanding the enemy of my enemy will always be the enemy. And let me tell you something. That statement, enemy of my enemy is my friend. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Brantford.
Okay, hold on 1 second, please. I just want to respond and then I'll give you the floor. That enemy of my enemy is my friend is such hogwash. It should always be the enemy of my enemy will always be my enemy. And then if you can have that mentality, even if you do decide to use that enemy, you never look at him as your friend, because a friend is somebody you can trust, confide in. An enemy of an enemy that makes it your friend, you really just have an agenda that you agree on. You're not friends. But if you go in thinking that you're friends, at some point that enemy that was your enemy for your friend gonna turn back to your enemy and stab you in the back. Hey, caller, you had a question or comment?
Hi, I'm the person that put number 1.
Oh, okay. Appreciate you calling in.
I finally got through.
Okay.
Yes. I'm a Native American from Ontario, Canada.
Okay.
And I'm going to say that we have such a different relationship with diversities here. As you know, Black people ran away from the States to Canada, right, during the Underground Railroad and after slavery. This is what I believe. So this is my opinion.
Right. And you say you're Native American, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And that is my point.
Mm-hmm.
White people treat Black people better than they treat us in Canada.
Okay.
It's rampant here. I don't know what it is. Like, maybe we are a nicer nation. I'm going to say that because I watch American stuff all the time, and you guys are way different than us. Just in your mannerisms, how you greet each other, or how you interact, you know. Mm-hmm. We are much more polite and quiet. Like, nobody speaks up here. That's why I call myself free. It's because...
Okay. Can you hold on 1 second? What happens is sometimes when I get other calls, I just have to bring them on. So I'm going to just bring them on and then I'll come right back to you. Caller, what's your name? Hold on 1 second, caller.
Desmond.
Yeah. All right. Hold on 1 second. Okay. You can continue. What's your name again? What's your name again?
Desmond.
No, not you, Desmond. I'm talking to the sister. The Native American. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's Tammy.
Okay, Tammy. Hold on, caller.
I know Black people have had it bad. Mm-hmm. I understand that. Jewish people have had it bad. Native Americans have had it bad. And I think people just need to get together and work towards one thing.
Okay, so I'm not from Canada, right? Like as you said, so you looking from the outside looking in. So what I did was I did a search of, and I titled it. I said, "Black people's treatment in Canada." That's what I just looked that up, right? And the first thing that popped up was Canada's Black Justice Strategy, right? So this is what it reads. This was posted June 28th of 2024. So this was just last year. It says Canada's Black Justice Strategy. It says Black communities continue to live with the effects of prejudice, discrimination, and hatred, from unconscious bias to anti-Black hate crimes and violence. This has its origins in Canada's history of colonialism, slavery, and segregation. Despite decades of work by Black communities to reduce the injustices affecting Black people, little has changed, and inequalities continue to exist in Canada. So I don't know, maybe you're speaking from, and sometimes when we speak from our own experience, but your experience may not be the sum. Your experience may not be the experience of the sum whole.
I'd like to know where they got those statistics from.
I'm gonna put the link in the chat.
Black people, or okay.
Yeah. So what I'll do is,
were there more Black people than white, or?
Well, it doesn't. They
could have been just asking Black communities how they feel they have been treated.
So
maybe
so
they didn't ask the white people, how do you feel you're treating Black people?
Well, I'm going to add another link. It says, at the international level, the strategy will help respond to the United Nations International Decade for Black People of African Descent call to actions, which recognizes the barriers experienced by Black people, including the criminal justice system. So I'm going to put this link in the chat, and so you can check it out. And so the latest news on this, and that way you can look at it. And sometimes, like I said, like I don't know nothing about Canada because, of course, I'm in America. So that's just full transparency. But 1453. But in looking at a simple link up, that was the first thing that popped up. So with that popping up like that, I would have to just disagree with you at the outset until I'm able to look it up further. You know what I mean? Because you're telling me one thing, but the stats is telling another thing. And I just put the link in the chat that what I just put up, what I just mentioned, I just put that link in the chat. And before you go,
to let you know we also love our Blacks.
No, okay. So now Native Indians. So and I don't know if you know this. So what we teach in my school is that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we are one tribe or one nation of Israel. So if you're ethnically a native or indigenous to the land, Blacks and natives are the same people. That's what we teach. So we're about the oppression of our indigenous brothers, our Taino brothers. We're all about, we speak about all of that. So we're not just so our organization, like the conversation I'm having today is about Black, but we speak about all. So you have to be indigenous, because sometimes white people would say they're Native Indians and they're not. So if you're a true indigenous, then you're one of us. If you're not indigenous, then you're not one of us.
Well, I have a Black child myself. I have Black nieces and nephews, so I have nothing against them.
Right.
It's I also know, maybe I'm taking too much time, but I've also read into history. When slavery was abolished in the States, they were given something by their master or their owners or whatever. They had to give them something upon leaving. And at the time, Native Americans were also slaves, and Black people were given Native Americans as slaves.
It actually went both ways. So what the white man did, and I'm glad you said that, because this is a divide. Hold on one second. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? All right. So, and I'm actually glad you mentioned that, because what you just said is exactly what that white nationalist is trying to do today. So back during slavery, there's a good book you can get called The Black Indians. And when you'll see in history, when Black people first were brought over here on the ships, we were united with the Native Indians to fight against the white man, because he was the one enslaving us. Native Indians wasn't doing it. So what the white man would do was he would let Native Indians have slaves, and he would let Black people have slaves of each other for the
to pit them against each other.
Exactly. So when you read in history,
to abolish both races.
Right, because the more we fight against each other, you know who we're not fighting against? Him. And so that's the piece of history that we have to recognize. It's not de-recognizing that, yes, Black had Native Indian slaves, Black had Black slaves. It's not to not recognize that Native Indians had black slaves. Native Indians had Native Indian slaves, but it's to recognize the root cause of it all. We didn't invent this form of American slavery. We were just the pawns of it. And so now once you recognize the enemy of it, we got to make sure we don't fall for it again. And that's what white nationalists will do today. So they looking at what the so-called Jewish man is doing, and so they want to get us to fight for him. Shout out to Avis Curio, said likes are free, which they are. Shout out to that sister. Hey, Avis, if you contact me on Instagram, I'm going to send you a free oil. Or, well, you could text me or contact me on Instagram. I got you covered. I'll send you a free oil. But that's what we have to do. So I appreciate the call. Was there anything else?
I just wanted to go back to that report on how blacks are treated in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Was that just a justice report? Or was
that was so I'll put the link in the chat. What I'll do is when we get off the phone, I'll actually text you. As soon as you hang up, I'll text you the link that I read from so you can have it directly.
Okay, great.
All right, you have a good
thanks
day.
for letting me get this out. I've been trying to get this out for a while now.
Oh, no problem at all. No problem at all.
Okay.
All right.
Have a great day.
You too. All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
And so now people in my chat immediately was hitting me with that she's white. We don't know. The thing about it is she could be indigenous. That's why I use the term indigenous. If she's indigenous, she's one of us. If she's white, then she's not. But you can't take that. You can't look at because she was talking about blacks being treated more fairly than Native Indians to make it seem like she's white. That would just be unfair. That's almost like when a Mexican say blacks get more. We can't be emotional in having these conversations. So if she's indigenous, she's one of us.
Hurry up.
That's all. No, I wouldn't say, one second, caller. To Copper Queen, I wouldn't say her spirit was $5 because I didn't hear nothing of her spirit. Y'all gotta, I don't know, I can't, there wasn't enough of that conversation to say that she's white. And you can't use the caption of her trying to save white people because niggas say white people all day. Every time y'all watch this live stream, who's calling into the show to save white people? Niggas. So, I don't know. And I'm not defending either way. It doesn't make me a difference either way. But I'm just not one that's emotional and just base it off of a conversation. All right? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Atlanta. My name Oculus, but my real name Marlon.
All right, what's going on? What's going on? You got a question or a comment?
Yeah, I got a comment. I got some credit I want to give to you. As a person that's always looming in the background and always watching, your moves, other people in the conscious community moves, whatever have you. I want to say one thing to you, Captain Tazaryach.
What's up?
Your jacket don't got no smut on it. I was following YP. No, I just want to say this. I never got to talk to you in my life. I'm happy to talk to you, what I'm fanned out, whatever. But
no, it's not fanned out. I like, listen, because people have tried to put smut on my name. So when a brother that calls from the background or a sister that calls from the background and says something like that, it's refreshing. You know what I'm saying? So I actually appreciate it. Most High in Christ. I appreciate it, brother.
I'm saying that because it's like if I compare you to your contemporaries or people that I'm used to seeing you on platform.
Hold on 1 second. And this happens when I get other callers. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Marquise. I'm calling from Illinois, Sparta, Illinois.
All right, hold on 1 second.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Copper Queen, man. Love you too, sis. All right, go ahead, brother.
So if I compare you to your contemporaries or how I first was introduced to you through watching Sonetta and watching Brother Polite and watching you, if there was, even if you knew how to talk a good game, if anybody was to ask me who do I stand with, now seeing how all the, the cards have failed, I would have to say everything you were saying was right.
That's what's up.
Just based off, look, just based off the fact of what the allegations that's been put on or the charges that's been put on, seeing how a YP done crashed out.
Right.
Like, look, if anybody listening, go back till we talking 2015. Yeah, these people were talking a good game. When you talk about Rashid Jamal, you talk about Brother Polite, you talk about YP. When you talk about brother, what's the guy name from the dude, the black guy with the dreads that went off to Mexico. I forgot his name. Nature Boy.
Nature Boy, yeah.
Look
Nature
who's
Boy,
the last man standing.
Yeah.
I
Listen,
want
and that's when I say
is still standing.
That's when I
Ain't
say
no sweat on his jacket.
That's when I say Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shai. And I always reference, like, there was a picture back in the day that Sinetta would have. Hold on one second. Caller, hold on. There was a picture back in the day that Sinetta had, and it was like all of the different people of the conscious community, right? And I remember when he put that picture out, and he'll tell you, I called him, I said, hey, can you take me off that picture? I didn't want to be on that picture. And the reason why I didn't want to be on that picture is because, you know, our whole thing is I just don't want to be affiliated. But when you think about that picture, there's nobody left on that picture. You might still hear, I think SETI still make clips or does live streams and stuff like that. But for the most part, you don't hear, like, the Bible, I always say the worst thing they ever did was come to 125th Street in Lenox Ave. When they came to 125th Street in Lenox Ave, that marked the death of Kemet. That marked the death of that so-called conscience. I got an old video of me and Young Pharaoh when Young Pharaoh was just a fucking kid. Right. Me and him is going back and forth, and I remember the uncle and all of them was talking over him and shit like that. And I'm like, damn, I'm trying to have a conversation with the young man. Y'all won't even let me have a conversation. And I remember I thought the other woman was his mother and shit like that. So, like, all of them has fallen. And so what that really shows is, like, I'm not as relevant in it. I know I'm what I mean by that is I'm just the vessel that the Lord used, but that just shows you the power of the Most High. The Most High will let you know what's true and what's false. And what everybody's finding out is all that chemist shit is false. But that Bible shit, that's true.
It's still standing.
That's it.
It's still standing. It's still standing. And I just wanted to give you kudos for that because I just, I'll be watching in the background, whatever. I'm always on YouTube. I drive Uber, so I'm always got a chance to look at YouTube. YouTube more powerful than TV right now. So I'm always watching you. I'm watching everybody. And when I just go back and I look at everything and I survey everything over a timeline of about 10, 15 years of watching, you still standing. All of the rest of them then crashed out. How all of them start in jail, how all of them get into the conscious community. Now all of them back in jail.
Yeah.
So if y'all doing the survey of what y'all should or shouldn't follow, that side y'all shouldn't follow. This side still standing, and you don't see no smut on none of these people's names. Captain Tazaryach, you don't got no smut on your name.
Appreciate it, brother.
And I can say that as a man. Like, as a man, I'm 36 years old, looking at another man. Once you get some smut on your name, you get some smut on your jacket, it's hard to get it off.
Yep.
Say Polite, get out. Say all these other people, get out. Nobody say Rashad Jamal, get out. We don't want to hear that no more, cuz. We don't want to hear nothing about that conscious community. We don't want to hear that no more.
Real
Why?
talk.
Because if YP, you talking about aliens, you talking.
Caller, hold on.
Polite, why the aliens ain't saving you now and all this powerful?
Listen, when they said that astral projected shit, I said, man, why that nigga ain't projecting his ass up out of there? Like, if you astral project.
And I don't mean to take you back in the timeline, but I'm just taking you in the timeline.
It's good for the callers.
Recognize you.
Now, what you're saying is good for the people, because some people may not, like, sometimes, like, I put up a lot of old videos. I mean, like, if I could find old videos, the reason why I put them up is because when you get a new audience people, they don't know the old things. So now you about to make me go back and find the Shaka videos I got, the Imam Bashir videos I got, like, get all them videos, put them videos back up. Yeah. Imam Bashir was a damn punch. That nigga was a punching bag back then. I see sometimes he put up Facebook video posts and stuff like that. So I still see him doing that type of stuff. But they was all punching bag. But you about to make me put up all these old videos so people can see. So I think after you say this last thing, because I got other callers, all right? So this is gonna be the last one.
Okay, let me say this last thing. If y'all go back and y'all look at all the debates that Captain Tazaryach has been a part of, if y'all look at all of them, who really won in the end? Let's think about it. Whether y'all agreed in the moment that y'all was in the debate, y'all was saying Polite was winning, YP was winning, SETI was winning. Look at all these people now. It's all about who's standing now.
That's right.
These people ain't got no voice no more. So in the end, Captain Tazaryach won. I'm out. Thank you for letting me say that.
Hey, no sweat. I appreciate it. Hey, shout out to you, brother. I appreciate the call. All right, one. Hey, also too, y'all. I text the lady. I'm gonna say sister for now. I text the sister and I asked her directly. I asked her directly. So I texted her the link. She said, thanks. I said, you're welcome. I said, quick question. I said, are you indigenous Native American? She said, yes, I am. So she says she's indigenous Native American. That's all I can tell you. Next caller in the queue is
Yeah, Cap, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, Cap, I ain't gonna take up too much time because I know your time is important. Man, I just love what you do.
Appreciate
it. I ain't in the truth, but I'm connected to y'all brothers. And I just want to say thank you, man. Thank you for what you do. Lord's work.
I appreciate it.
All right, brother.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, take it easy. All right. Hold on. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Sean Prince calling in from Big Jersey, Asbury Park, Dog City, Big Fisher.
All right, no sweat. Hold on 1 second. All right, next caller in the queue is 760-780.
All right, how you doing, Cap?
What's going on?
Okay, this is not directly to you because I know I've been watching you for a while, so I know you stand on what you stand on.
Right.
Even though I'm in that comedic realm, so
right.
I stand 10 toes on.
Right.
So I'm not calling in to debate you.
Right.
In regard to those different beliefs or paths, but I say this: the woman that called in from Canada, I listened carefully to what she said. She talked about how blacks are compared to
Native Americans.
Yeah, to Native Americans and the Indians and so forth and on, and said that I've been to Canada. She lives in Canada, even though she said she's Native American. She can't see the dichotomy or the indifference as far as how so-called black people are treated in Canada versus America. She says she listens to a lot of the news in America, and people's mannerisms and how they act and how they move is not the way they are in Canada. So you went up and pulled up a statistics report from Canada, and she
caller, hold on.
Putting out information that was erroneous.
Well, I don't want to say erroneous. Sometimes, and this could even be it could happen to anybody. Like if you don't know some information. Now, let's say if I gave her that information and then she battled me on it, then I would probably say like she got an agenda. But when I told her about the information, she asked for it and I sent it to her and then she thanked it. So sometimes some people just don't know. So there's two different types. Like, let's say if you and I is having a conversation, you bring some information, and I'm against your information, even though you're proving it.
Right.
Now I got an agenda. But if you give me the information and I say I'm gonna take it and investigate it, I ain't got an agenda. I just didn't know. So I look at her as she just wasn't aware. That's all.
Okay. Now I'm gonna add another statement I want to make or ask a question.
You went out.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yep.
Okay, so let me turn my sound down. That might be some feedback. Okay, you hear me? You hear me good now, huh?
Yeah, I hear you perfectly. Yep.
Okay, so basically, you remember the brother that was head of the brother that was Yahweh, you remember Yahweh Ben Yahweh, correct?
I heard of him. I don't know too much about him, but I heard of him.
Okay, now I met this brother personally. He came to the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles, and at that time, I was actually in the Nation of Islam. I was AFOI, at Mosque 54 in Compton under Minister Shemad Muhammad. But I'll say this though, I've seen a lot. I'm almost 70 years old, brother. I've seen a lot of organizations come and go, both Hebrew, both brothers that the Moorish brothers that were in the nation, brothers that was in Pan-Africanism. Now you're going to get some following. You're going to get some brothers that come in and follow all the pretexts of Hebrew, of being a Hebrew Israelite. But for me, I've been on this path for about 30 years, so I'm gonna stay on this path. Now I don't have no problem with brothers that's in the Hebrew Israelite movement or the camps as it relates to what they're doing on the street and what they're doing as far as trying to contribute to their community and so forth. But my issue when it comes to having discussions about race or those people that classify themselves as white, because I don't believe there's such thing as a white race or a black race. I believe there's a human race, but then all of the different dynamics of theology and denomination, people are going to side up with what, basically what message that addresses their either intellectual or spiritual needs.
Mm-hmm.
So in that, I have to give my hats off to you because you've been putting in work and you do it. And I've seen the errors of brothers like Polite. I've had discussions with Sinetta and the brothers in New York. So the thing is that when it comes to the whole question of the invention of so-called whiteism, I go in hard on that. Because if you go back to the first Pope of Rome, which is Constantine, they wreaked havoc on all people. They had no respect of no race, no belief system, whether it was African, whether it was indigenous, whether it was the 12 tribes in the diaspora. They just came in on the pretext that these people that do not look like us,
Caller, hold on.
not going to grant them the rights that we believe we inherently have based on our whiteness. So with that, brother, I'm out.
I appreciate the call, brother. You take care.
All
right. Next caller.
Now.
All right. Next caller in the queue is, it says, I don't know if I'm going to say this right. Avila Davila. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It says, it don't have a number. It's spelled AVILADAVILA CES, comma CES.
Is that me?
Is it Avila Davila or something like that?
I don't even know.
Okay.
Well, I guess now.
Well, you talking now. Go ahead, brother. What's going on?
Yeah, this Sean Prince. I just want to give a shout out to you. I've been tuning into you for like the past month. You know what I mean? So I'm new to what's going on. But definitely making a whole lot of sense to me. I just got a quick question. Can I ask you a question about
You can ask whatever question you want.
All right, cool. As an Israelite man, down for his.
Hold on one second. To everybody else, if y'all could just mute your mic, except for the brother talking, that way we don't hear your laughter or feedback. I appreciate it. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead with your question. You said as an Israelite, what?
As an Israelite man, him having a fiance, or him having a fiance. Should his fiance be an Israelite woman as well, or?
Whoever he's with should be an Israelite also. Like, we can't marry outside of our race.
Okay.
So fiance, your woman, whatever terminology a man calls his woman, rib, Eve, etc., she has to also be an Israelite.
Okay, cool. Because I like checking people with facts. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to just be talking just because I got lips. So I do know a brother that is an Israelite, and his woman is not. You know what I'm saying? And let's say if a brother or sister is with a non-Israelite before they come into the truth, they don't leave that relationship because they came into the truth. Like Moses didn't leave his Ethiopian women because he came into the truth. He kept them. So we don't tell we don't tell a man or woman that you got to break up your relationship because you did something in the world. We don't teach that.
So
yeah, that's pretty much his situation.
yeah,
He was with the
so
young
let's say
woman.
if a brother got a Chinese woman, he find out he an Israelite, he ain't got to get rid of that Chinese woman. She just ain't coming to the Passover, or anything like that. But he would stay with her.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. Yeah.
Caller, hold on.
Tuned in, man. Shout out to Big Jersey.
All right, no sweat. I appreciate it, brother.
Thank you.
All right. Next caller in the queue is that wasn't. To the Avadila guy. I'm gonna just hang up on you because you're not saying that when I call on you. Next person in the queue is Yawan. Am I saying that right?
Jawan.
Yeah, Jawan. Okay, Jawan. Hold on one second, brother. Hey, caller, what's your name?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, it's Mason.
Oh, Mason. Okay, you was the one I was calling before. So after I take this call, you'll come on. Hold on a second. All right, Jawan, what's your question or comment?
Man, what's up, Cap?
What's up?
Hey, man, as a shit chilling. Man, look, I was watching them all. Hey, listen, Cap, listen. Hey, I was watching them all videos when you was going against Shaka Upmost and Brother Polite and all that. Man, you was tearing their ass up. Listen, tearing their ass. Listen, let me tell you something.
Shout out to Sean Prince, Big Jersey. Yeah, that's what's up.
Listen, let me tell you, Cap, the only reason that these boys don't want to say they Israelites, the women, the men, the children, all of them, because they don't want to follow them laws. They don't want to follow the laws. Listen, they get on the phone, they talk about, they did their research and they found this not to be true and all that. Man, let me tell you something. I know what it is. Everything be good until you start telling niggas you can't eat pork. Everything be good. And I'm going to tell you something about these niggas. Some of these niggas don't want to go in the house and tell their girl, ain't no Christmas. God said we can't do that. Ain't no Valentine's Day. God said we can't do that. Ain't no Halloween. God said we can't do that. These niggas is weak for these women. You feel me?
Right.
The women, they just pure evil. They just sinister. Listen, for the last 100 years, the cracker devised the plan. No matter what, we gotta blame the white man. We gotta blame the black man. I mean, your life messed up, you're a woman, the black man. The kids ain't doing right, the black man. You find that
Caller, hold on a second.
spirit off of black men and putting it back on the black woman. Now niggas is saying, no, woman, you full of shit. You full of bullshit. It ain't always the black man, it's the black woman. And the black man.
Hey, where you from, brother? Hey, where you from, brother?
I'm from Texas.
Texas, okay, gotcha. They was asking in the chat. That's why I asked you that.
That's how, Cap. Listen to me, Cap. Keep tearing their ass up. Keep spitting that truth. And we always got to remember, the 2/3 got to come from somewhere. The 2/3 got to come. Man, listen, God just burned 2-3 cities down in California. Don't come to me talking about there's no wildfire or somebody set ablaze. And if they did, God let that happen. Man, God is finna punish this world. God is finna kill. I'm telling you, he punishing the cracker now. He punishing. Niggas been under punishment. But before that great and dreadful day, man, God finna kill a bunch of niggas. God finna kill a bunch of niggas because they wicked. You feel me?
I feel
Cap,
you.
go do your thing.
I appreciate
Go do your thing, Cap.
All right, brother. I
All right.
appreciate the call. All right.
All right, babe.
All right, no sweat. That brother came in on fire. Mason, I believe is the name.
Yo.
What's up, brother?
Yo, man.
Yeah.
Yo, yeah. I just want to ask you one question, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're light skinned, right? So, what about your European blood?
I don't know what you mean by that.
I mean, you're light skinned. Like, black people naturally have like really dark skin, and you are like light skinned. So, what about your European blood? You also have European blood.
Okay, so I'm actually, if you don't mind me asking, you're white, right? Or Hispanic?
Nah, yeah, I'm Hispanic.
Gotcha. So black people is the color of black people. Wait, hold on one second. Caller, hold on a second. All right. Caller, wait. Caller, hold on one second. I'm just waiting for it to merge. All right. So you seen a black crayon before, right?
Of course.
Right. So nobody is that color, right?
Of course.
So,
well, that's not true. That's not true.
No, nobody is that color. Nobody is like black like that. Whatever.
Dude, in the Sudan, there's millions of people that color.
Not that specific color. And so
yes, they are, bro. Look it up.
No
in
problem.
The Sudan, there's millions of Africans in East Africa who are that color.
Okay. So now, even if you go with Africans or the color black, period, there is no one complexion. Like, black people are not even the only people that have melanin. Meaning, if you look at black people, it's different shades of brown, whether they mix or not. If you look at Africans, it's different shades of brown, whether they mix or not. East Indians, Arabs, there's a lot of different ethnicities that have brown complexion that you can find real. Like, you can find some real dark ass East Indians, and then you can find some real light ass East Indians, because there are some ethnicities that can create many different shades of brown. That's without that's without mixing whatsoever. So just because you have to listen, because you asked a good question. You said,
yeah,
right. You're let's say, like, I always use Bob Marley as an example. Bob Marley has a white father and a black mother, but he inherited his mother's complexion. We agree, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you can't. So just because now, if you look at him, only an Israelite would call him a white man. Everybody else would call him a black person, right?
Nah, not true.
So who wouldn't call him a black person?
Like us Hispanics.
What would
a lot of mixed race.
What would y'all call him?
We call him mixed, man. We call him like a mulatto.
So you telling me you always knew Bob Marley had a white father?
Nah, I ain't always know it, but I don't have to know that he's mixed.
How do you know he's mixed? By looking at him. How do you know?
He's light skinned. He looks different from other Jamaicans.
Yeah, I think. Here's my advice to you. I would suggest you look up colorism and study it. I would suggest you look up colorism, and if you actually,
what about your European blood though, man? You obviously have European. You have European blood, man.
Blood. Let's say, for the sake of argument, if somewhere down my lineage there was somebody white, like on my matrilineal side, on my mama's side, because there ain't no white on my father's side, right? So let's say if there's some on my mama's side, blood. I don't know why people use the terminology blood. Blood doesn't determine your race. Blood comes in O positive, AB, A positive. That's blood. That doesn't make your race. So when
no.
Slow down. Relax. Relax. When I say relax, that means stop. Because when you say blood, and I start breaking down blood, and you realize you ain't got no point, now you want to interrupt because I just killed your point. You brought up blood.
That's not even
blood.
Okay,
you just said you got European. You just said you got European or white in your blood.
Yeah, true.
Blood doesn't. Blood. Listen. Stop. Be quiet. Listen. You can talk after I'm finished. Just stop fucking interrupting me. Thank you. Blood doesn't determine your ethnicity. Blood has different types. I think my blood is O. I think mine's is O. When I was in the military, they told me it was O. Then you got AB. Then you got A. That's blood. If you're talking about genetic traits, then you should say genetic traits. You can't even talk ethnically, because there is no such thing as a mixed race. You are whatever sperm went in the vagina. If Dominican sperm went in the vagina, then that child is Dominican. If black sperm went in that vagina, then the child is black. Now, if you want to say, well, why doesn't this person look like his mother or father? Now you just talk about a chromosomal argument. That's what you're talking about. Hold on one second. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Jordan, calling from East Orange.
All right, hold on. All right, yo, these will probably be the last callers I take. So you can respond, but at least let's speak from intelligence, and the reason why I say intelligence, neither race, if races are mixing, with the conversation that you and I are having is that you want me to have white in me because I have light skin. And that just doesn't line up scientifically, because black families can produce light skin and dark skin. Do you agree, yes or no?
The reason for that is because of slavery and them getting raped and them getting exchanged.
Once again, this is when I say you're not intelligent. Long before slavery existed, black people were making light-skinned and dark-skinned people. You're giving white people too much power. You know that there's African tribes with blonde hair and blue eyes that were never with white people.
Guess what? All of you African Americans who say that, I looked up the country. The country's not.
I can't talk to people that just that stupid. And what I mean by that stupid, and people will say he trolling, but every lesson, even when people are trolling, there's a lesson within it. It shows their ignorance. The different shades of black people did not start because of slavery. That's like saying unless you're going to show proof, and I'm going to get to the next caller, unless somebody's going to show proof that black people came in one color all of existence until we got enslaved, then you don't have an argument. Next person in the queue is William. I believe that's the last name, William. Josh, am I saying that right?
Khan 650.
Yep. Go ahead, brother.
It's also Kasapa Kai out of Northern California.
What's going on, Art? Hey, how you doing out there in Cali, man?
Went to Wild. So we in Northern Cal, so it's like 5 hours from LA. So we're good up here.
Hey, it's funny how I could tell an accent. You sound just like Kwame. What I want to say real quick before you go, what y'all seeing in California is an example of what Revelations call the lake of fire. Because when I see that fire burning, that's what that shit looked like to me. It's like a lake of fire. Go ahead, brother. What's your question or comment?
My question is based on Isaiah 44 and 24.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, it's on some type of debate or argument. A brother officer was asking me a question about it. That I guess some other fake Israelites are saying that Christ did not create the everything. He wasn't the first creation. And then if we say he is the first creation, then he is considered like the Trinity or something like that. Like we're teaching the Trinity. But I can bring the verse.
Can you read it?
Yeah, Let me get to it. Isaiah 44.
Hold on 1 second. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Eric.
It better be important when I get to you, because you done called like 12 times. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah. The heavens alone that spreadeth abroad the earth by myself.
And they saying this is the proof that Christ didn't do it? So who led the children of Israel out of Egypt?
The Most High with Moses.
No, so the Most High say, I led you out of Egypt. Is that correct?
Right.
If you say Moses led the children of Israel out of Egypt, is that correct?
Sir.
Shalom. It's just the agency. Of course, the Lord did it alone. There ain't nothing that's done without the Lord. We want to, like when we say Christ did it, we just talking about how it was done, the completed work. Just like when we say Moses parted the Red Sea, the Lord parted the Red Sea. He just used Moses to do it. That's it. It's just that simple out.
The what, sir?
I ain't about no sweat. All right. Next person in the queue is 770-990.
Hey, what's up, Cap?
What's going on?
Griffin.
What's going on, brother?
Atlanta.
Yeah, you got a question or comment?
What's up?
This the time when I need y'all to get right to it, because I'm tingling. Pre-workout is pre-working now. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got maybe 2 questions, but it's just 2 simple questions. So my first question to you, Cap. So you're a Hebrew Israelite, and so you believe in God. Now you have Muslims that believe in Allah. Do you believe that your God is the only God, and that like Allah or people that are Buddhists that pray to Buddha, do you think they have any power?
No.
As far
So to answer the question, I don't believe in no God except mine. None of them are gods, and I don't believe they have any strength or power to do anything. But you got it.
Awesome. And you would say that due to the fact of how your life has been, like if you pray or just certain things happening in your life, you would just contribute that to your God. So here goes my last question. So,
no, I wouldn't take it for. I wouldn't. That's not why. The reason why my God is the God that he is because the things that he's done and said in the text makes it real. The prophecies in the Bible, the power in that God, the fact that those different beliefs that you had has to strengthen themselves by using the God of the Bible. So those would be things. What he does with my life, I'm not that important to where I would quantify my life to the belief in God. It's knowing, like when Job says there's springs at the bottom of the ocean. When Job says there's mountain at the bottom of the ocean, how does he know that unless a God told him?
Right. So are you saying like when you're quote unquote blessed, or when certain things happen in your life that favor you don't contribute that to your God?
Hey,
I'm being genuine.
No, I know you. Listen, I know, brother. I know you are. That's why I'm answering you the way that I'm answering you. Okay. If bad things happen to me, does that mean that God doesn't believe in me?
That would depend on the person, I guess. But some people say like the devil, if something bad happens to him, the devil is trying to, they would equate that to like the opposite force. But
okay,
I
so
don't
I'm gonna read. No problem. So I'm gonna read the scriptures. I'm gonna read scriptures for you, right? Because we can't base God being with us on whether good things or bad things happen to us. It's our obedience. We have to obey regardless. I'm gonna read this. This says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. Whatsoever," this verse 3, "whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall." So when you come to serve the Lord, you're not serving the Lord because all good things are going to happen. You coming to serve the Lord, whether good or bad things, I'm obeying this God. So I don't base my faith or power in the Most High based on good things or bad things. I'm going to obey him regardless.
So and then this is my last question, Cap. So, and this is a hypothetical, but I just trying to get understanding. So if I had a group, let's say we have a Christian, a Muslim, a person that is a Buddhist, and an atheist, right? And they ended up being stranded in the desert, and they all, the Christian prayed to their God, the Muslim prayed to their God, the Buddhist prayed to Buddha, and the atheist didn't believe in anything, and they were praying to be saved. Somehow, somewhere, they ended up getting saved. How would you be able to, how would
who gets saved
be able to prove? Well, all of them get saved, but I'm saying they all prayed to their individual, they all pray to their individual, higher power. How would you be able to tell which God saved who? If that makes sense.
So give me the beginning part. What are they getting saved from?
I'm saying it's a hypothetical.
I know, I got it. I just want to know where they at.
Like they're stranded in the desert. They end up getting stuck in the desert, but one is a Christian or an Hebrew Israelite, one is a Muslim, one is a Buddhist, and then the other one is atheist. But
and they all stranded. They all stranded in the desert, and they all get saved from praying to their God.
Right? Yeah. So how would you be able to prove which God saved them? Because you said you don't believe in Allah. You don't think Allah has power, over what you do. But then they would also say the same thing about your God, Captain. So how?
I don't have a problem. How I would simply answer that is that they all got saved because of me. That's what I would say.
Okay.
I prayed and y'all got saved. Y'all should thank me and my God. Y'all God ain't shit. I still would tell them God ain't shit.
Right. Okay, cool. That's it, Cap.
All right, no sweat. I appreciate it, bro. All right, likewise. Take care. All right, next person in the queue, 518-818.
Yo.
I know you said you're tingling and all that, and I do got 3 scriptures that I want to break down on. So, can I call you? It don't gotta be live. I can call you normally.
Yeah, you can call me in an hour. You can call. Call me in an hour. Call me in an hour and a half, and then we'll be good to go. All right.
2:30, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, that works. Yep.
Alright.
All right, no sweat. 951-327.
Alright, hey, how you doing, man?
What's going on, brother?
So I was just gonna see if you got my text.
If I got your text. Text about what?
You know what the text message was, you bitch ass nigga.
No, I don't. So I don't know what text this man is talking about, but clearly that man is obsessed with me. I'm actually glad he wasted. No, not taking no more calls. Pre-workout is kicked in, and that was the last call. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. We probably do a part 2 of the mentor thing. Maybe I'll do another live later today. You might get 2 out of me today. We'll see. I'm about to go work out now. Obsession with a man is real weird to me. But until next time, shalom.